Hello, everybody. Welcome to your weekly messages for November 17th to the 23rd of 2019. And I hope you've been enjoying the December readings for those of you who have watched them. And if you haven't already checked those out, definitely do that. And before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe if you haven't already. 2020 readings are going to be coming out soon, so make sure you stay up to date with all of that. And then also sign up for my newsletter. I am going to be doing a tarot pop-up soon, so if you want to get notified when that comes up, sign up for my newsletter. And you'll also get notifications for other important stuff, and you get a reading sent to your inbox every week. It's just a newsletter on Sundays is what I do. So let's go ahead and start with some oracle cards for you this week. See what's happening. Gazelle, this is screaming, taking inventory. Checking in with yourself this week is going to be really wise. The gazelle, when I think about this energy, it's kind of like scanning the horizon, seeing what's coming up, and looking at what's the trajectory. If you think about exactly what you're doing in this moment, and you extend that out, say 3 months, where is it going to put you? And that's where you can really pivot where you need to. So that's the main thing that the gazelle is highlighting here. It's going to be a good time to start implementing some structure, habits, routines. Don't bite off more than you can chew. You guys know I'm big on reminding you not to do that to yourself. But just keep in mind that taking inventory this week is really going to set you up as we head into the final months of, or the final month of 2019. And then let's see what else we have going on. Endurance. Yeah, so you're going to want to think about the long game this week. It's not just about what you want in the moment. It's about the long term, the big picture. Are you able to sustain and endure what you have going on? That's why I mentioned that you don't want to bite off more than you can chew, because a lot of the time that much change that soon is not something you can sustain and endure for an extended period. So let's just start with a few cards. The central energy for you this week is the Death card. Yep, shaking off that last debris of Mercury retrograde, shifting into the new way of being, right? Whatever you may have learned over the past few weeks, the Death card is just reminding you that the remaining pieces of what you're letting go of are kind of melting off. And then the crossing energy is the Son of Pentacles, showing up for what you want. That's the main thing that I get with the Son of Pentacles. So this is equivalent to the Knight of Pentacles in a normal deck. But what I'm getting is like putting in the effort. So there is going to be some momentum being built this week around you really digging into the work. So I think you're just building off of the seeds that you've already planted or the foundation that you've already built. And so things are going to get progressively better, progressively easier. So you just want to hang in there with all of that. And also, if you're feeling more motivated this week or inspired, right? So if you've lost some dead weight, if you know what's oncoming, you know what you want to implement, this is going to be a good week to do that, because you do have the fresh layer of skin, if you will, and you've let go of the things in Mercury retrograde that just really weren't serving you. And so this is a good time to refine. What you have shifting out is the Magician. This seems to be more about your focus, like what your attention was on, what you were asking for, getting really clear on that. And so now I think you're moving from this is what I've asked for into this is what I'm building. Let's see what the oncoming energy is. Temperance, balancing everything out, sustaining like we have with this Endurance card. This doesn't, at least to me, this isn't reading as, oh, it's just a really laborious time that's just exhausting. Not necessarily. It's something that's just saying you want to be able to thrive long term. And so the Temperance card is helping you make that happen. It's helping you figure out how to make that possible for you. And then let's see what else is going on this week. Son of Swords. So maybe doing things a different way. I'm getting like a wake up energy from this. So I think there was a lot of stuff that you kind of uncovered during the past few weeks. And so now you might be trying new approaches or new strategies. And we have the Four of Swords. So it seems like there is going to need to be a balance of taking action on the things that feel good to you and knowing when you need to take a break or you need to rest. That is just as valuable of a skill, because you don't want to crash and burn every time you start picking up the pace, right? So this is a learning curve we all have. Some people naturally have good endurance and they know what they can sustain and they're very practiced at that. Others, not so much. It's something you have to figure out what your flow is. So that seems to be what shifting out of Mercury retrograde is really going to bring. It's finding your flow, finding the current that makes sense for you. And then to clarify these cards, we have Two of Knives. So I think that it's not about you focusing on a particular outcome. It's more of just trusting the consistent effort or the consistent behavior as being what pays off and letting that be enough, right? Because it's the small decisions are going to compound. They are going to make a big impact. And I think that's really working for you. So the Two of Knives is just saying, don't even worry about where is this going to lead, because that can often really make it difficult if you're only focused on getting to a destination rather than trusting the process. You'll lead yourself to being really impatient, and we want to avoid that. So that's the main thing I'm getting from this. And then let's see what else is going on. Daughter of Wands. Energy is really picking up this week. So I think you do have that to look forward to. If this period of time has been extra sleepy, if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's getting darker. There's a lot of things where our body, our minds, our spirits are kind of shifting into this new season. And so I just see that the energy is kind of bouncing back as far as this reading goes. So that's kind of nice, where you're getting into this new gear. And then we also have the Two of Cups, connection, collaboration. So I think there's a lot of connective tissue either being developed this week, or it's something that maybe you are wanting to call in. So I'm going to clarify these. But the main thing that I'm getting from this is that it's similar to like taking inventory about what quality of connections you want or who you want to come into the space that you have at this point in time. Or this could even be evaluating a relationship, right? The Daughter of Wands, the Page of Wands is about checking in, scanning the horizon, like I mentioned here. And it could be around like a relationship or connection or something that you have going on. And then we have Page of Cups. Being honest about your feelings when it comes to this, that's going to be a really big asset for you. And I'm also getting that if this is something that's more manifestation based, right? If you're actually looking to call in someone specific, if the Two of Cups is highlighting this is someone that's coming into the space, then it's just about being honest with yourself about what you want and what you're asking for. And again, it seems like that is something that's already come up in part, but be explicit when it comes to who you want to come into your space, who would help you. And then the 3-card pick, as always. Pick a card, any card, ask a question, ask for guidance, whatever it is you're needing at this point in time. Pause the video if you need more time. But card number 1, we have the Two of Swords. So again, this is pushing you to be present. Instead of focusing too much on the external or obsessing about the outcome, right? Because I understand we all want to have a vision for the future, right? That's important to have something to work for, something to look forward to, or something to work on. I do think people inherently need that. Otherwise, I mean, color kind of drains from your life, right? If you don't have anything to look forward to. But that being said, you don't want that to take you out of the present moment either. And so this is a practice on staying present and staying grounded in that process. And again, process over outcome. That's the main thing that you want to keep in mind with this card in particular. The more you enjoy the process, the more you'll enjoy the outcome. Card number 2, we have the 3 of Cups, friendships, collaboration. It's like a reason to celebrate. Maybe there's a lot of like family stuff going on or hanging out with friends. It just seems like there's a lot of connection here. And so I think leaning into that is going to be a big support. Wherever you feel like you are welcome or connected, whatever is helping with that connective tissue is going to be really helpful for you. And then card number 3, we have the moon. You know, whenever this comes up, and I've said this before, do not fight the moon. The worst thing you can do with the moon is thrash around, kick and scream, get really frustrated. That's not going to be helpful for you. It's going to make it more confusing and more chaotic. So if you're sitting in this moon energy of uncertainty and unknown and feeling like you're kind of lost in outer space, the best thing that you can do for yourself is relax. It's kind of like you want to float, not fight. And so the moon is just highlighting this for you. It's saying, okay, breathe into the discomfort of not knowing or being uncertain. You're gonna come back down to earth. Like, it's not gonna be this way forever, but you kind of have to become quiet and still and get into a place of acceptance to see your next step rather than trying to wrestle the moon into submission. That it's not going to bring you clarity. It's going to bring you greater confusion. So the moon is kind of like one of those Chinese finger traps where when you pull, you get more and more stuck, and you actually want to bring your fingers together for it to become loose. So it's like the counterintuitive approach is going to be the best at this point in time. No thrashing. That's not going to be an effective strategy. All right, everybody, that's all that I've got for you this week. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this has been helpful. And don't forget, if you need extra support, if you're nervous about family stuff, if you're dealing with that this week, put yourself on the books to get some extra help. And if you have any more questions about which decks I used or how to work with me, go to the description box. All of the info is down below. And I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.